Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
So continuing on the leadership conversation and delving a little bit maybe into the management side of things, I want to caution the leaders of the world, your environment, to manage over-reliance on key players. This is got some sort of multifaceted perils. What happens when you have somebody, let's say, who's on your team who's sort of radically competent? They do a good job or good enough job consistently without friction. They show up, they do their thing, they get it done. We all have people on our team that are the get it done people. What will happen if you consistently rely on the get it done people is you will not develop other get it done people. Right? You will essentially move all of your sort of social chips to one person and not cultivate the team that you could really benefit from in a meaningful way. To be clear, it's hard to do that, right? It's hard to cultivate others. This is why leadership is tough. But that over-reliance also creates some additional headaches and challenges that you want to mitigate. One of the big ones is your star players may get burnt out because you are leaning on them more and more and more to solve problems consistently. That leadership or that burnout from your key players in the beginning might be like, okay, well, you just need to take a break. But over time, that may erode their belief set in the organization and the objectives that you're trying to deliver against. You are at risk of having somebody in a star player role to get the martyrdom complex or get any of the kinds of sort of messianic stuff that comes with it. Like they might start thinking they're the bee's knees, and then when they take off, the organization collapses. That's not great. So mitigating risk here. A big part of that has to be to develop the non-star players on your team. And in many ways, you have opportunities to do this and have everybody win, right? So it's not about developing your sort of other players on the team to the detriment of your star player. It's perhaps using the behaviors that your star player has, helping them mentor others to replicate those behaviors moving forward. But understanding, of course, that probably the reason your star player is your star player has nothing to do with skill and has everything to do with attitude. It becomes really important to invest in the personal development of your teammates. Give them the training and education they need to work through their own stuff, like what we're doing here in A Mason's Work, like what they might do in therapy or what have you, to help them improve their worldview. As we spoke to in a couple episodes ago, development is directional and irrevocable, irreversible, I guess, rather. And so as you develop and grow, as your employees develop and grow, they will grow to a worldview that is more conducive to positive outcomes for everyone because they're increasing in scope and awareness and capability. As you develop in the personal development, or as you invest in the personal development of your teammates, of your employees, of your lodge members, helping them achieve their personal and business goals, you will find that they move from being mediocre players or poor players to being additional stars. And as your organizational capacity increases, you will be able to then tackle bigger and better sort of goals about, where the business is going, where the lodge is going, what those experiences look like. That organizational development function is the responsibility of a leader, and a leader who consistently relies on two people to get the job done or one person to get the job done is never going to be able to grow an organization past the weakest link in that organization. They can't get past the person that's holding them back. Unfortunately, we have just a sort of whole bunch of people out there in the labor market. So the idea right now is less and less develop people and more replace people, which is interesting, but it's a pass the buck kind of model in that you're essentially passing the development costs on to somebody else and then hiring again. As lodge members, that's not a luxury we have, right? So you have to work with the team you have. You have to work with the people in the room and help them grow. In a nonprofit environment, you can't fire folks. At least you can't fire volunteers in a meaningful way. You can ask them to change their jobs or change their roles in the organization, but telling them to never come back is not a productive way to help you build your team. So as you're working through your leadership capabilities and functions, start to think about how you're going to work with your key players to help nurture your, middle of the road players to move them up in both their personal development and their skills and capabilities.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.